BMF Season 4 Episode 9 Recap. Is Loco dead? Episode 9 of BMF Season 4, titled Point of No Return, seals an unfortunate fate for one of Meech and Terry's biggest allies. The Flannery brothers' business has been experiencing something worse than a rough patch in the last few months. Their aspirational recording label, Stomping Grounds, seems to have hit a wall in the wake of their star rapper, Purdy's, death. On the other hand, Bryant's incessant efforts to catch Big Meech result in the unraveling of multiple stash houses owned by the gang in Atlanta. Nonetheless, despite the troubling brewing on their home ground, the older brother dreams of expanding their business further by making new connections. This brings the duo to California, where they hope to win over the business of Manuel, Loco's contact. Meanwhile, the rest of the Flannery clan anticipate welcoming another member to their family. Spoilers ahead, Meech's ambition takes him to California in the aftermath of the night's events. Bryant finds his informant, Laz, dead on the side of the street. Naturally, his suspicions turn to Meech and his gang, assuming they must have something to do with the murder. Consequently, when CCTV footage establishes a connection between the victim and B-Mickie, the detective concludes that the latter must be back to working with the BMF. Inversely, Meech remains worried about Laz's unprompted murder until he realizes that he's the mole who sold out the locations of the stash houses to the authorities. In the aftermath, Terry argues it would be best to take a pause and recuperate from their losses. Nonetheless, his brother doesn't want to stay low. Instead, Meech wants to continue on the uphill incline and take their business to the next level. Consequently, he manages to convince Loco to set them up for a meeting in California with the big shot dealer, Manuel. Soon enough, the Flannery brothers find themselves foraying into California with big plans of expansion. Almost off the bat, Meech establishes a partnership with Mua and his crew. Furthermore, despite getting in a fight with the latter's rivals the night before, the eldest Flannery also manages to win over the alliance of the Bloods crew. Thus, with promising roots already established in the city, the two brothers walk into their meeting with Manuel prepared to make BMF bigger than ever. Nicole gives birth to a baby boy initially. Nicole's pregnancy arrives with some frustration. Her water breaks in the middle of the night, rushing Lucille to take her daughter to the hospital. Nonetheless, dawn breaks, and the expecting mother finds herself still stuck in the establishment's waiting room. Simultaneously, Charles receives a call about the situation, compelling him to catch the earliest plane out of Atlanta and back to Detroit. It goes without saying that Nicole's brothers, Meech and Terry, are unable to make it back home given the current chaos of their professional lives. By the time the teenager finally finds her on a hospital bed, certain problems threaten to complicate the matter. An irregularity in the baby's heartbeat prompts the doctors to prepare their patient for a C-section. In the end, Nicole chooses her mother to enter the operating room with her and comfort her through the process. Even though there's a slight hiccup in the immediate aftermath of her son's birth, everything resolves itself soon enough. Consequently, Nicole finally meets her child, whom she ultimately decides to name Demetrius, after her older brother. However, a damper is put on the joyful occasion once Lucille learns about her daughter's future plans. As it turns out, Nicole and the father of her child, Breeze, have already made the decision to move in together and start their family under their own roof. Naturally, given their young age and the complications between the mother-daughter duo, this decision comes as an unpleasant surprise. Loco loses his life in a targeted attack once Meech and Terry secure the partnerships with Bloods and Mua. They share the news of their success with their business partner, Loco. However, little do they know that tragedy awaits the moments after their shared phone call. Once the drug dealer hangs up and returns to his car, it ends up blowing up to smithereens, taking him out with it. The brothers only learn the horrifying news during their meeting with Manuel. The master criminal asserts his desire to halt operations until BMF resolves its Atlanta-based issues. Meech tries to build trust in their methods by citing their loyalty to Loco. Nonetheless, this becomes a moot point once Manuel reveals that the other man is long gone. According to Manuel, a rival gang had orchestrated the attack. He asserts that since the gang only had a personal problem with Loco, his death was a confined, solitary incident. Yet the timing of the attack remains suspicious, raising one's curiosity about what could be the hidden reality behind Loco's death. Nevertheless, his death and Manuel's proposed timeline certainly put a damper on the Flannery brothers' plans. Yet, even more concerning is the revival of an old nemesis. Although Meech and Terry don't know it yet, Lamar is making his way to Atlanta to exact his revenge on both the brothers and B-Mickie. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.